This video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN. In this video that's going to be uploaded on YouTube, we're going to Texas Roadhouse.
Howdy, howdy.
It's a steakhouse restaurant that's Texas themed.
Yeehaw.
Etymology lesson.
Texas. That's a state in the USA.
South.
Now we're diving into the word roadhouse. Do you know what a roadhouse is, Lucas?
I've never actually thought about it. Like, it's so weird how, like, these restaurants have these words in them that you just don't think about. Like, oh, roadhouse. Like, what the hell is that? I'm guessing a little shack on the side of a highway that you only eat at road trips?
Your intuition was right because it's a tavern, inn, or a club on a country road.
Oh, yeah. But I was thinking more of, like, only people on a road trip would go. This sounds more of, like, the honky-tonk of a small town, maybe.
Yeah. Now we're fully aware.
History lesson.
The very first Texas Roadhouse opened on February 17th, 1993 in Clarksville, Indiana. Now, I know a lot of you guys are getting your panties in a twist right now because Indiana is not Texas.
Huh? That actually did piss me off.
History class is concluded.
We went to Texas Roadhouse on a Monday night because we figured, okay, it'll be a little chill, slow evening at the Roadhouse. But it was packed. The parking lot was filled.
I'm just going to assume that Texas Roadhouse is actually in like the top 3 biggest chains across the US. If you go to like a Chili's, Applebee's, maybe even a Cheesecake Factory on a Monday night, I don't know if it's gonna be this busy.
The plan was to wear cowboy hats to Texas Roadhouse, really get into the cowboy culture of it all.
I was into it at first, but then I realized that this could be a form of cultural appropriation since we out from Texas.
Thank the Lord above you mentioned that. We would have really gotten ourselves in a pickle.
Yeah, I didn't want to end up being in one of those Western movies where like someone, you know, like when they open the saloon door.
Oh yeah, and they say, you aren't from Texas. Why are you wearing a cowboy hat?
It gets into this old Western fight where it gets very dangerous and death could occur. Sodom the Bunches started grooving, and I was like, I know where I am tonight, honey.
Honestly, most restaurants don't give you the vibe when you're even outside. They thought of, okay, we're gonna have music blasting, so right when you open the door in the parking lot, you know you're at Texas Roadhouse. You know the exact energy you're coming for. Also, while we were outside the restaurant, I could already smell the food. I could smell all the grease in the air, so I was getting excited.
Since there was so many people at Texas Roadhouse, we thought that we would have to wait for an hour, but no. We got sat in about 5 minutes, which was nice, and just by looking around, I got reminded of what Texas Roadhouse is. You see dead animals on the side of the walls, and you see a bunch of local memorabilia. Like, there's this baseball team in the place that we live in. They had a sign for that, and there's also a bunch of alcohol brand logos that are lit up.
Yeah, when we walked through the crowd to our table, I just felt like we were at a party. You could tell that people were there, not just to eat, but to party. It just had like this vibe of like jolly alcoholness.
We weren't making this up because right when we sat down, before even seeing the actual menu, I saw the alcohol menu, and I saw that there's a drink called Lit. And if you didn't know, Lit is like kind of a new trendy term that people are using.
It was cool how they used LIT as an acronym for Long Island Iced Tea. I'm not gonna lie, I've never seen that before. It seems so obvious, but sometimes the most obvious thing is the most genius thing. The vibe of the restaurant is somebody's basement where they have a bar. You're visiting home the Midwest from, let's say you live in Miami and you're visiting to the Midwest where you grew up, and you go to your friend's house they used to hang out with, and they go into their basement, wood panels everywhere, Christmas lights up, and it's not even Christmas, and they have a whole bar down there, and it's just a good old time. Kind of smells like cigarettes.
Yeah.
It didn't smell like cigarettes at Texas Roadhouse, but that's just the vibe it was giving.
Something else about eating in a restaurant.
When I go out to eat, I like sitting in a booth because I like privacy. And if you like privacy, you might like Surfshark VPN. Surfshark VPN keeps your online identity safe by encrypting all of the information sent between your device and the internet. This will keep your personal data protected from big companies and cyber criminals. One of my favorite things about Surfshark VPN is that you can swap your real location with another location across the globe. This way you can virtually travel to any country across the globe with Surfshark VPN. Rick and Morty isn't available on Netflix in the US, but I use the VPN to go to the United Kingdom. I could watch 6 seasons of Rick and Morty on Netflix, Surfshark does not monitor, track, or store what you do online. That means no connection or activity logs. Surfshark VPN is great. Use the promo code Crookshank for 83% off and for 3 extra months free. Surfshark offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk in it. And the link is in the description. Try it out.
Last time I was here, I remember peanuts being all over the floor. I said peanuts, not penis. There was peanuts all over the floor, and I even remember being at our little brother's birthday bash at Texas Roadhouse, and there was a bucket of peanuts on the counter. And did you notice that this time there wasn't any peanuts on the counter?
Wait. And last time we went was also during COVID, so it's not like they're trying to reduce the spread of germs. Where the F were the peanuts? I didn't even think about that. You didn't even mention that at the restaurant, so you kept that rage inside. Because you knew I would get mad.
Yeah, I didn't want to put it onto the universe because I knew that it would end in a brawl with the waitress, probably.
Honestly, where were our peanuts? That's one of the main things about Texas Roadhouse. You get free peanuts, but because of inflation.
And no one else had peanuts either.
I am dumb. Texas Roadhouse tried that. If we would have told everyone at the restaurant what was going on, we all could have stood up and like we could have overthrown the staff. So where the F are the peanuts? Because we know they're somewhere in here.
Yes, I agree, but I just thought about one of the funniest memories at Texas Roadhouse. We were eating at Texas Roadhouse during the height of COVID because we were visiting people and like we couldn't eat anywhere.
Oh yeah, so we thought we were being safe. This is our first restaurant we were eating at during all of COVID because it was gonna be outdoor seating spread apart. But then it started raining and they said, well, we aren't gonna shut down, everyone get inside. So we just went inside and they said we're gonna space everyone. They said they were gonna space everyone apart. And then didn't someone threaten to call the cops because they said this isn't legal?
Yeah, so I'm not sure if it actually was illegal what was happening, but that was just iconic.
And we didn't get sick, so.
And that was the very first restaurant we ate at since like the pandemic happened.
Oh, this was like early on in the panty.
Anyway,
so I did some Googling about this whole peanut situation because I had to get to the bottom of it. I'm not just gonna let it be fine. There has to be a reason. On this article, it said that it changed because of COVID. And yes, we did go during COVID and they did have peanuts, but the article that I read also was kind of saying that it got expensive. They're like, it said something like they spent like this amount of million a year on peanuts and bread, so it just ended up being too much, which might be another reason.
So what I'm taking from that is they could have afforded it, but the people who run this company wanted to be able to have a 15th house or something. Gosh. Stop trying to take away our peanuts.
When they used to have peanuts and they'd give you the bucket, it was always like half empty, and you always knew like someone just left, so they grabbed it from their table and brought it to their table. I legit think that's what happened. Like this isn't even me joking around.
Oh, they for sure were dumping the buckets into other ones. It was always kind of gross, and you knew like there might be some sort of bacteria on them.
Anal glands.
But you always just knew it's free, so I'm gonna eat it.
Exactly. They couldn't afford peanuts, I guess, but they can still afford the bread and cinnamon butter, which made me happy. This is how you know you're at a well-made, A-plus establishment. If they give you, like, appetizers for free, that's when you know Mama's woken up. I guess Mama's... Yeah, I don't even know what that means.
It's a good day for Mama.
Yeah. Since I'm uncivilized and impatient, I'm not gonna cut this piece of bread in half, smother butter in the middle. I'm just gonna tear off pieces and dip it in the butter.
The Cinnabbutter, to be exact.
Yeah. Even though it's sweet, it just is such a good way to start off a meal.
It's so good, and usually I indulge, but I'm actually trying to get a 6-pack because I'm going to Cancun soon, so I thought, you know what, I'll stick to my Diet Coke. I practice self-control.
And you succeeded.
Yeah.
That means that you're enlightened.
Basically.
While I was eating the bread, I noticed that the table across from us has a tablet that you can play games on, and our table didn't have a tablet. I'm honestly not mad about it, but I just think that you guys should know that Texas Roadhouse is now a tablet place.
Then maybe there's certain people where they know, don't give the tablet to them. They're going to get it sticky. They're going to crack the screen because they're so clumsy. Like, maybe that's what they thought. Texas Roadhouse has got you covered when it comes to the starters. We decided on the rattlesnake bites.
Just the name alone got me enticed.
I actually thought for a split second we were going to be eating snake, but then I realized it's just jalapeno poppers basically with a fun little cute name.
I wanted to point out that Texas Roadhouse has Texas Roadhouse ketchup and steak sauce. Now, they'll probably just Heinz and they got Texas Roadhouse on the front, but still, I would rather you not put effort into ketchup bottles that say Texas Roadhouse and put that that money into putting peanuts on the table. Oopsie, the rattlesnake bites appeared. Maybe more appropriate is a Does that sound like a rattle? I do have to admit, I tried my first rattlesnake bite off camera because I just don't like sharing intimate things on the internet. But then I whipped out the camera for the second one and I dipped it in the Cajun. I was, of course, like, this is good. It tasted like a jalapeno pepper. And then I dipped it in the ranch and I was like, this is also good. And then I showed my fingers to the camera because I wanted to just show you guys that greasy food is good food.
This tasted like something you'd buy at the grocery store and pop in your air fryer. And that's not a bad thing.
After literally only 4 of them, I hated the experience. First of all, it tastes like someone chewed it up and put it into a bowl.
It did have that vibe.
Second of all, it just was really salty, but I don't hate Texas Roadhouse for this because this is what I expected.
Yeah, there are certain things that do get gross after a while. Mozzarella sticks is one of them, and I guess rattlesnake bites are also one of them. The first one is so good, but yeah, once you get deeper into the bowl, it just gets like it's just gross. Honestly, if it wasn't for the name, I wouldn't even like these at all. I think I literally just want to like them because they're called rattlesnake bites.
It's clever, it's funny.
Yeah, it's a moment.
Now it was time to order the main course, and I was browsing the menu. I really wanted to live my Texas Roadhouse fantasy, fully get something that I usually wouldn't order. So, like, this is a steakhouse, so I wanted to get something to do with steak. If you guys were wondering, usually I get the mushroom chicken sandwich. Slaps so hard. It just is a classic. I like how it's not too salty, although it probably does have your daily limit of sodium, but I still love it. So I ordered the funniest thing on the menu, which is called roadkill.
That matches the Texas Roadhouse vibe so much.
So, roadkill is chopped steak smothered with sauteed onions, sauteed mushrooms, and jack cheese. I love onions and mushrooms and cheese, so that's what I ordered and
For all of the health queens like me trying to get a 6-pack for Cancun, I wanted to see, can people like us eat at Texas Roadhouse? And it turns out we can. I got the grilled barbecue chicken. Comes with 2 killer sides, which I picked mashed potatoes and green beans. A well-rounded meal.
Something that should be pointed out is Texas Roadhouse is taking steps to be more eco-friendly because when Lucas got a new Diet Coke, they asked him to get the straw from the first Diet Coke and put it into the second Diet Coke. They didn't use 2 straws, there was only 1 straw used. Texas Roadhouse is changing the world, guys.
We put in our orders and about 15 minutes later, the meat got delivered to the table.
Ugh.
I was jolly as can be because Texas Roadhouse's slogan is legendary food, legendary service. Starts with taking no shortcuts. We take great pride in every plate we serve every time. I'm not trying to come for you, Texas Roadhouse, but there was one time when we were eating at Texas Roadhouse on Christmas Eve and I ordered my chicken mushroom sandwich and it never came. They did give me it to go because everyone was done eating and it finally came, so then I just put it in a to-go box. And I honestly wasn't mad, and I'm still not mad, but I just want to say, like, I don't know if they do care about every plate.
Yeah, so it's legendary food, legendary service, and you just skip someone at the table's meal? Honey.
You know what? Everyone makes mistakes.
That being said, our waitress for this video was lovely, and she was legendary.
I started cutting in with a knife to my chopped steak.
Roadkill.
Oh yeah, to my roadkill. Then I said, cut the cameras, it's too hot. So now we're gonna get back to mine later.
Mine was at just the right temperature. I cut into my barbecue chicken, and it was great. Jacob pointed this out later. He didn't even taste my food, but he just psychically knew that it tasted like Sam's Club frozen chicken with barbecue sauce. That's literally what it was. It was good. Like, I loved it. It tasted like something your dad would make on the grill in the backyard, which is, I'm assuming, what the vibe they were trying to make. And the chicken is honestly good, because a lot of times when you have chicken breast, it is just boring as hell and dry, but this was juicy. The barbecue sauce was so good. The mashed potatoes were great. And you guys probably noticed there isn't green beans. It's not our waitress's fault. I'm actually not going to blame her. And usually I would be the type of bitch to tell someone, oh, by the way, I ordered green beans, like, so they go give it to me, you know? I figured, you know what? It's not meant to be for me to have green beans tonight.
I got a big hunkle of the steak roadkill stuff with mushrooms and onions. And right away I was like, wait, on the menu it said like this was chopped steak, but it just has the texture and taste of ground beef. I am not going to do research, but I'm pretty sure chopped steak is just ground beef, right? Because why was it just ground beef?
That probably is what they do at Texas Roadhouse. They just take the hamburgers because they have hamburgers on the menu. So they just cut them up and douse them in cheese, I guess, for that one.
I wasn't even mad though. Like, it tasted good. It just tasted like a burger with like all this stuffs on it.
Oh yeah, was the jack cheese good?
There was like so much flavor that I couldn't really taste it, but it was good.
It did look good how it was all doused in cheese. I guess something is that covered in cheese, it usually is good.
It has to be good.
Yeah, there's no way around it.
This meal came with 2 sides, so I got fresh vegetables and french fries. No, steak fries. And I do have to say that these vegetables actually did seem fresh to me, although they probably are frozen. And I love that I got vegetables because then I could counteract the saltiness with some vegetables. And then I told Lucas, look, I know you're frustrated in your corner over there and you're on your phone, you don't want to talk to me, but you can have some of my vegetables. You cannot even have more than some. You did have some.
Yeah, right? I had probably half of your vegetables and they're really good dipped in mashed potatoes.
And then I tried my steak fries, which like you guys don't even need a review of this, but they were good. And as you can see, I made my ketchup into a person with their mouth open. Anything can be out.
So was it just Heinz ketchup?
I think so.
While we were eating, our conversation stopped, and I finally realized, oh my god, they have music playing in here, of course. And I was like, oh, what type of music is it? I'll give you the 3 songs that were played back to back. Something by Carrie Underwood, something by Miranda Lambert, and something by a 44-year-old country singer male, who I don't know the name of, but probably Blake Shelton.
While I was munching, I did take a video of my plate because can we appreciate how greasy this plate is? If you're frail because you've been sick for months, go to Texas Roadhouse. I'm not a doctor, but like I feel like that would like reinvigorate your soul. I don't even know who I'm talking to, but yeah.
Yeah, it is a good down south, down home, off the beaten path meal. Yeehaw! That's so cool.
There was multiple times at Texas Roadhouse where they were doing birthday celebrations. I think most people just lie that it's their birthday because like, and I mean it could have been all their birthdays, but
I am confused because most of the time they make you sit on this saddle thing. But did you notice that the one that you're talking about, they didn't make him sit on a saddle? No one was on a saddle. Let me guess, somebody fell off the saddle and cracked open their head and they're in a coma, and because of that one little incident, now we can't have it?
Exactly.
Stop trying to take away my stuff. I sound like one of those. I feel like I sound like a scary person who's like, don't change anything about anything.
But
leave it the way it is.
But actually though, we unfortunately didn't get a video of the Texas Roadhouse song, but I will sing it for you guys. Attention Texas Roadhouse, I have a very special birthday guest with me today. I have my friend, what's your name?
John.
John with me. Everybody say hi, John. John is turning. What's your age?
17.
17 years old today. So on the count of 3, I need you to stop what you're doing, swallow what you're chewing, and give me your loudest, proudest Texas size yeehaw. 1, 2, 3. Yeehaw! And then Lucas would be on the saddle doing this.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I like that vibe.
I swallowed most of my mail, and Lucas, it looks like you swallowed all of your mail.
Oh, I ate it up. And for all the other people who are trying to get 6 packs for Cancun, my review of that meal is I actually felt full. Like I was expecting I was going to be like, bitch, this isn't even going to be good. But actually it was good and filling.
I was thinking about getting a dessert. They have 3 desserts, and I was like, which one should I get? But then I was like, I feel gross right now, so why would I get a dessert? And that's when I realized that I actually do have control over my life. It turns out we have free will.
Also, I just have a feeling none of the desserts would be that good. I never hear anyone talk about the desserts.
Yeah, I was looking for like ice cream, but they didn't have ice cream.
Isn't that only if it's your birthday? I bet they give you ice cream.
I was thinking about lying and saying it's one of our birthdays, but I just didn't want to go on the saddle, and it just sounded so embarrassing.
Oh,
it's
God.
so embarrassing.
That actually would have been. It's so embarrassing.
The check came, and it came to $42.
That's pretty good for 2 meals and an app.
And Diet Cokes.
Is Texas Roadhouse considered a low-tier restaurant? Because, like, since my meal was, like, $11, I consider that, like, that's a good-ass deal. That's, like, Chipotle prices. You have a waiter and everything.
I know,
So
you
is that-
get the full experience.
Because, like, Cheesecake Factory's double that. I feel like it was a good deal.
I asked for a to-go box, not for myself, but for people in our family. I thought maybe they would eat it. So I packed up the rattlesnake bites, and the waitress actually gave me covers for the ranch and Cajun sauce, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's very nice of you. I actually didn't say that, but I should work on being less shy and saying stuff like that. I think I did say thank you, though. video, but I just didn't say it like that. And then I put the bread and some butter into the to-go box too, and I hope our dad enjoyed it, but it also no one could have enjoyed it, but I hope someone enjoyed it. While we were walking on a Texas Roadhouse, I saw they had toothpicks for your teeth, and I got one for both of us.
It was pleasing to pick at my teeth after. I didn't really have anything that stuck though, but it was still good to pick around, see if there's any goodies.
Thank you, Surfshark VPN, for sponsoring this video. If you want to try it out, the link is in the description below.
I quite enjoyed the experience overall.
Yeah, Texas Roadhouse will always be in my heart.
And with that, yeehaw! Boo!